What's up guys, Crave here, and we finally have the first expansion of Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone. The expansion is looking good so far, and I just want to share a few things from my first hour or two's playthrough. This will involve how you start off, some of the important characters you first get to meet, the changes to combat, the new rune system, and any other changes I've noticed during my playtime. I'll keep this video spoiler free as much as possible, but to be sure, go and check another upload if you want to experience the game for yourself. I mentioned a few things in my Get Ready for Hearts of Stone video about 2 weeks ago, and looks like it's all shaping up to be so much more than that. To start off the expansion, you'll need to make sure you have your game patched up and have basically downloaded the expansion. As in most games, the pre-patch contains multiple elements needed by the game engine, and so you end up with a much smaller expansion patch. It's still a significant 2 GB of data though. Once you're in the game, you'll have the option to basically start the game with an older save, a brand new game with a pre-made Geralt at level 32, or basically start fresh, but you have to finish the prologue of the game. Once you've decided how to start the expansion, you are then given your introductory quest, which then brings you to your first important character for the expansion, David Beckham. Olgierd von Everec. Going through the first quest seems like one of the free DLCs, but all is not as it seems. It will look like a standard Witcher quest, which then bridges you to meeting Shani, as I mentioned in my older Witcher 3 video about 2 weeks ago. Again, just a reminder, she was a romance option in the Witcher 1 game, and then now she is making a return. Being a Witcher game, the quest that Olgierd sends you off to isn't what it seems, and it gets you in big trouble. Now, if you've played the other Witcher games, it happens there, and in this expansion, Geralt's stuff gets taken and you end up half naked. Your stuff can actually get taken twice in your first hour of the game, but I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to find out for yourself. It's also around this time that you meet the third important character in the game. As you're seeing right now, check this guy out. Do you remember him from White Orchard?
What do you do? Who are you?
A mangy vagrant. Gaunter O'Deem, at your service.
Vagrant. That a profession now?
Once a merchant of mirrors. The madding crowd dubbed me Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass.
Yep, he's back, and he plays an integral role on why you're pretty much where you are in the expansion. Now, getting through the story also means combat, and while most standard mobs will still die with the standard dodge to the side and then swipe tactic, there are baddies that seem to have a way around things. Let me briefly show you this frog monster, which has been previewed by CDPR in screenshots. So be careful, as some of the standard tactics you used to use in the base game may no longer work for this expansion. Now, CDPR of course hasn't left Geralt without any new things to help in combat. Geralt can now take advantage of the rune word system. As I mentioned in my previous Witcher video, it is indeed a derivative of the old glyph system, but it actually turns out to be enchantments you can place on your gear via using up the certain glyphs you have in your inventory and the actual slots of your gear. If you use the rune system on a specific piece of gear, say your armor, as in what you're seeing right now, you lose the ability to socket that piece of gear. Let me just quickly show you some of the available rune words for your gear that you might encounter in the game. Now, of course there are more, but then again, I'll leave that up to you to discover. One thing I've noticed about runes is that it's quite expensive, which also brings me to one thing I've noticed about the expansion. A lot of gold is needed to progress some parts of it. Of course, there are some situations which allow you to bypass them using your sign to charm some NPCs, but there are scenarios where losing gold is the only option. Is it because of the bug from the unpatched version of the game some months back? Possible, I'm not sure, but I thought I should mention this increase in need of gold. Now, the story has a mix of light and dark elements to it that blend perfectly. The humor is more evident, but the seriousness of Geralt's world is maintained. The first few moments of the game are done quite well actually. You'll see familiar places if you've extensively played the base game, but you're also introduced to some other newish areas and some other cultures which may have been better fleshed out in the books. So, is it a proper expansion? I don't know yet, but it sure looks to be a really good one so far. It's less than $10, and I got mine basically for less than $9 in GOG. And... I think I'll end the video here so that I don't end up talking about the expansion too much. Anyway, I gotta get back to Geralt and continue his story, so I will see you guys in the next Witcher upload. Thanks for watching.